Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's Mindful Drop. And I'm actually going to be talking about CorrectX briefly as well, because there is a CorrectX flash sale on today that I've only just realized. CorrectX, and can you believe I don't actually have a CorrectX on me to show you? I usually have a whole lot in stock. And in fact, I've got some coming from Joburg, and my husband Colin just phoned me because he's just picked up a whole lot of my oils for me, and he said, "Oh, is this CorrectX for me?" Because he's got a friend who's got really struggling with his chapped lips and sore lips, and he's told him he must use the CorrectX, so he's taking it to him. So CorrectX is an incredible little lotion. It's got all the healing oils. In fact, I meant to tell you exactly what healing oils it has. Sorry, let me just call that up and I will let you know. It's got frankincense, helichrysum, tea tree, cedarwood, and lavender. So it's incredible for any skin issues. It's incredible for pimples. Our kids why I don't have one is because mine always gets stolen by all our family members. It's amazing for teenage pimples. Acne is obviously another level up. It needs a little bit more of a deeper treatment, but CorrectX is wonderful for when we feel pimples arising. It's great for chapped lips, for cuts, for wounds. It acts a little bit like the liquid stitches that we talk about with helichrysum. So it's great for putting on cuts, or even open cuts. It's a little emulsifying liquid. It comes in, an ointment. It comes in a little ointment, a little tube like that is very easy to keep in your bag. So you can literally just squeeze it out and put some into a cut or wound. It's got the tea tree, so it also is very strongly antiviral, antibacterial. It's great for I've had a friend who, she dropped a plate on her foot. It cut her foot quite wide open. It was bleeding badly. Her friends all said she needed stitches, but it was a Saturday night and she'd had a couple of glasses of wine and didn't want to go to try and get stitches at that time. So she just used her CorrectX. And she sent me a picture of it at the time and then of a week later, and she said it's astounding. It was incredible. And then more recently, we use CorrectX. Well, our daughter took CorrectX because it's our first aid ointment. It goes everywhere with us. So she went on this paddling trip around Mauritius, and it was a wonderful one where they were camping on beaches and paddling, and they had all their gear with them. And she kept her CorrectX in her life jacket pocket. And unfortunately, they were sitting on a beach around a paraffin cooker, and there was an accident, and the cooker kind of exploded. Like a fireball flew out at them and landed on Pippa's shirt and her face. It flew up into her face, her eyebrows, her eyes. It was very traumatic for the girls involved. And she whipped off her shirt and ran into the sea. And even when she was in the sea, her friend said, "What can we do? What can we do?" And she said, "Get my CorrectX." And they were like, "Well, what is that?" And they went and hunted in her life jacket, and she put it on while she was in the sea. She put it on again in the vehicle on the way to the hospital, and she was actually in a burns unit for a couple of days, but has healed absolutely incredibly. You would never even know anything that she'd even had a burn, and this was just over a month ago. So I'm very grateful for it. And I think that the CorrectX really just stopped the continuation of the burn and helped her body to heal very, very quickly. So it's something that I recommend. There is a little bit of a flash sale on today. It's a tricky one. I definitely will be ordering a few because a lot of our friends all use it for their kids' skins and stuff. And if you want to sort of bulk order with us, then get in touch with me. And then about the kids kit. So that's also on a special this month, but I just wanted to tell you about the kids kit in general. I've been wanting to do a mindful drop on it for a while. So it comes in this lovely little bag, which is very convenient and nice for traveling and things. And it has little covers that you can put onto the top so that you can hang the kids' kit rollers off like a school bag or something like that. I'm not going to take that out now. It takes too long. So it's easy for your child to take it to school with you. But I've got them here displayed in our little on my stand. And this is something that I really wish that we'd had when our kids were little, because it's incredibly empowering for young children. Shay talked about this quite a lot when she did her special needs class, and they come with these little flashcards that you can then put up on the wall, and you sit and teach your child about it. You realize whether it's connected to the heart or to the body. Some have body signs, and some have a brain sign. So it's for sort of kids to really identify with. So you can put them up so that they can identify with it. She doesn't give access to the oils, but she puts these up so that they can, especially non-verbal children, can point and show what they want and need. So she uses a lot with her special needs kids and with mums that she works with special needs kids. So these oils can also be used for adults. Just because they're in a kids kit and they're kind of branded for kids doesn't mean that they're not for adults. And one of our favorite ones is Brave, and it's got a little picture of a heart on it. It's the Courage Blend, and it says, before new or different situations, or just to start your day, roll Brave onto your tummy or bottoms of feet for a boost of courage and confidence. So I use it before I feel like I want to be brave. Our daughter also uses it. She's 17. It's got ingredients: wild orange, amyris, osmanthus, and cinnamon. So it's a lovely kind of citrusy, uplifting. It's a beautiful scent. I remember right when the kids kit was launched, hearing about a mum who used it on her child before they went to a social party or a social engagement. And this little child usually was very reticent, always hung back, didn't want to get involved. And for the first time, and she hadn't even told the child what it was about, she just put it on. And the child was actually in a sandpit playing with the other children. So it really is very supportive. And so its top uses are making new friends, doing team sports to bring courage for team sports. Also very useful for potty training, for sparking the imagination, and for trying new things. And so it says this blend brings out the bravery in every kid. It reminds kids the value of self-expression and what it means to be yourself and to hold strong to your values. So that's Brave. Then we have Tamer, the digestive blend, which is a nice sort of spearminty color, and it does have spearmint in it. It's got spearmint, Japanese peppermint, ginger, parsley seed, and black pepper. So again, it's all the digestive herbs, but it's not as strong as Zengest, the digestive one for adults. This is more refreshing. It's lighter with the spearmint. It's great for acid reflux, colic, croup, flu, food poisoning, all those sorts of things. So stomach aches and sunburn and things like that, because it's very cooling. Loss of appetite, nausea. So again, it's you use it onto the tummy and put it into the belly button, and the belly button really permeates into the whole digestive tract, because remember, that's where our umbilical cord first provided us with all our nutrients and was then absorbed by our bodies. Well, the absorption happened from our umbilical cord. So you can use for tummy bugs, dropping a few drops clockwise over the stomach several times, or rolling it. It's also great for car sickness, for that nausea, for traveling, for food allergies. So for also when they've had too much, when they've overindulged on sugar or anything like that. And then for summer burn, like for also quite good for fevers, because it just helps to cool the fevers, or for sunburn, helps to cool that. So it's a wonderful one for this. I know I meant to mention at the beginning, so this is aimed specifically at children, I would say from 2 till, I don't know, there's no end, adult children. But for younger babies, it's very, very useful as well. And all I would do is then get a roller, an empty roller of coconut oil, and just fractionated coconut oil, fill that up, and then use that roller first, or with it, doesn't have to be first or second, but just to dilute a little bit as your baby's getting used to some of these oils, so that you're basically diluting what's already in here. So you use that roller first, and then this roller. And that's how I would apply it for young babies. But it can be very, very helpful and effective especially for croupiness, for all that gas and bloating. Now you know why I wish we'd had it. So here, Tamer, the digestive blend, it says before and after meals, or when your tummy feels upset and needs calming, soothe and ease by rolling Tamer on your troubled tummy. Then we've got the Focus blend or Thinker, also one that I use a lot for me personally. It's got vetiver, which I just adore. Vetiver is it's a grass oil, and it's like lying out on the grass when the world feels overwhelming, lying outside on the grass and just looking up in the sky, and that's calming and grounding. So vetiver can help us focus, can also help us with sleep when we're overthinking and over worrying. So we can use it on our big toe. Our big toe connects with our brain and our overthinking. So it's got vetiver, peppermint, clementine, and rosemary. And rosemary is also so good for memory. Clementine is also very uplifting. So it smells amazing. It's used a lot with autism, Asperger's, hyperactivity, any children with special needs, also nervous disorders. And then it's just great for day to day, like being a homework booster, using it before homework, using it before reading. It's great for ADHD or ADD kids, good for creative writing before you're having to sit down and write something or come up with something creative, before writing a test, confusing for any confusion and distractions. So it says this blend is the oil for peaceful thoughts. It helps turn agitation and frustration into centered thinking and is both realistic and useful. So it's one that actually sits on my desk, and I'm actually going to put it back onto my desk, take it out this little kit just now. And let me tell you what Thinker says here. So Thinker's got a little picture of a brain on it, and it says, when it's time to get creative and focused, roll Thinker onto the back of your neck to support your mind and enhance your learning. I use a lot on my temples as well. Then there's the Kids Grounding Blend, Steady, which has got a picture of a heart. It's got amyris, balsam fir, coriander, and magnolia. Yes, it's just called Thinker. You can get all of these as independent oils that you can just order just one roller. So the Kids Grounding Blend is called Steady. It is very good for even things like chronic pain, circulatory issues, cough, cramps, depression, procrastination, scrapes, and stress. So it's good for feelings of social anxiety, applying to the wrist and lower back for a feeling of steadiness, for those frazzled school mornings. So it can be very helpful for getting up in the morning, for just calming and grounding everyone, for useful timeouts, for when children may be experiencing tantrums, which are often just a feeling of overwhelm and not being able to know how to manage their feelings. That we can use this with other tools to help us just calm and ground them. So it's something that is supportive, not so much punitive. So apply to temples and wrists to calm temper tantrums. It's also good for putting over the chest and heart space for if there's disappointments or discouragement. It's something that is very emotionally steadying. And so the Steady blend here says, for those times when you feel nervous or anxious, rub Steady on your neck and wrists to calm and comfort your emotions. So where brave is more a little bit of a feeling externally, wanting to be brave, externally Steady is more an internal grounding. Then there's the Protective blend, which is called Stronger. It's got a little feeling of a picture of the body. It's got incredible ingredients. It's got cedarwood, litsea, frankincense, and rose. And so rose is the unanticipated plant with a profound ability to combat serious types of bacteria like MRSA. It's quite amazing how it actually does deal with MRSA, which is multi-drug resistant Staphylococcus bacterias, and yet it's also gentle enough for even the most sensitive skin. So it's a lovely one for adults too. It's useful for things like athlete's foot, dandruff, fungal infections, heartache, and ingrown toenails. So its uses are very, very diverse. Here it says the top uses are for playtime ready, rubbing it on the back of the hands, back of neck, and under the nose to ward off germs. So it's something that one can use as a protective blend when going to school, to stop picking up all the, when other kids are snotty and in the playground and they're all sharing the same toys. One can protect your child by putting this on their hands, under their nose, even up and down their spine or under their feet as they're going off to school. So good for any bacteria or virus or fungus, applying 3 to 5 times a day. It's also good for fatigue, applying to the kidneys and adrenals twice a day to improve the stamina. So, and it's also just a lovely one for bringing a strong heart into social interactions. It can help to fortify boundaries of love, promoting a sense of true community, because we've got frankincense, which is the king of oils, which is the connection to earth, and then rose, which is our connection to divine love. So I sometimes use this for my meditation practices as well, and just helps me to feel stronger. And so on the little tag, it says stronger, use stronger at the back of your neck or bottoms of your feet for an added boost for protection when you're not feeling your best. So it's an immune boosting first and foremost, but then stronger emotionally as well. And then we have Karma, which has got a picture of a brain, and it's the child's restful blend. It's got lavender, Kananga, Buddha wood, and Roman chamomile. So it's very calming and soothing. It's very good for behavioral disorders, bee stings, crying, nappy rash, hyperactivity, hyperpigmentation, neuralgia, shock, spider bite, sunburn, and worms. So basically, it calms our whole system physically and emotionally. So, physically, if you've got bites or wounds or a bump or anything like that, or hypersensitivity of nerves, and then it calms us emotionally as well. So it's very good for sleeping because of the lavender and Roman chamomile and the Buddha wood, applying to the bottom of feet and the back of the neck 30 minutes before bedtime. So I wish I had that when our kids were little. Also for if they've got any nighttime fears, it's very good to put over the chest and wrists. It's good for if there are arguments or tornado thoughts or runaway thoughts. And it's very good for grown-up relaxation. Apply liberally to the temples and chest before getting into a warm bath to let go of a stressful day of kids' activities. So it's for mums when they just want to actually feel calmer, that they need their own emotional time out. So it says the gentle floral aromas of this blend invite purposeful communication. It reminds the wearer to choose words that uplift and edify over words that make you right. So that is Karma. And it says when it's bedtime, roll Karma onto the bottoms of your feet and onto the wrists, climb into bed and take a deep breath to let your mind rest. So you can see how a lot of these would be very supportive and empowering for young children. I think that's all, yeah. And that they can choose what they want to take to school with them. If they're not feeling well, they could take their little stronger and put it on their bag, or it's the sort of thing they can keep in their pencil case going into exams. They can have their thinker roller. They also have tools that are at their disposal that they can use proactively, so they don't have to be reliant on mum and dad. They learn that they know and they understand their bodies better than anyone else, and that they can become their own healer. And I think this is something that is hugely empowering from a young age. The thing we see most with all of our essential oils, not just this kids kit, is that people say our children just love it. They just took to it. They just love. They mix things. They use it. They make things. They use it all the time. They've got little stands. And so I really encourage you to think about the children in your life. Perhaps it's godchildren, perhaps it's nieces or nephews, perhaps parents going through a tough time, your own children, and think if this could be something supportive for them, because it is available this month. I think there's a 10% discount this month. It's a lovely gift and it lasts. I mean, these oils last for a couple of years, so there's no worry about getting it too soon or the oils losing their fragrance. I've had these open and I've used them for at least 3 years. Yeah, so please ask any questions on the groups. We'd be very happy to answer them. And we hope you enjoy this mindful drop.